So I was eavesdropping on a series of conversations that happened while I was at the spa yesterday, and it was fascinating. So first off, I'm in Portland, Oregon right now. I'm on a press trip. I've been aggressively eating my way across the city. I fit 2 pairs of my pants as of right now. I'll also probably be posting like a vlog about where I ate, why I ate there, what I ordered right over here. As soon as that's up, I'll just tag it. But anyway, so while I was at the spa, I overheard a series of conversations from women in different life stages that focused. I let me explain. Okay, so I actually like wrote down what like the key points, because women, the most important, like people in general, your husband should not be the most interesting thing about you. Like if he wasn't there, what do you, who are you? And that question kept showing up in so many. So there were these two moms. The first that I saw were these two moms. They seemed very lovely, and it was one of their birthdays recently. And I guess they were having a girls' day, which, like, love the fact that these mom friends were like taking time apart from their family. But basically, it was this one woman's birthday recently, and there was a huge like house expense that happened. And so they didn't have a whole lot of money because they needed to take care of something that was going on in the house. And then so she was like, we don't have to do anything big for my birthday because like money's going to be a little tight. And husband said, say less. And then he didn't even tell her happy birthday. She was like, I didn't get flowers. And like, it would have been nice if like maybe he made me breakfast in bed or something. He didn't even say happy birthday. And I was like, oh my God. And to which her friend was like, that's not okay. And then immediately this woman started making excuses for her husband. Oh, well, like I didn't explicitly tell him that like, flowers weren't off the, and like he did feel really bad about it afterwards after I told it. Your husband of like, give her, I think they were married somewhere between 8 to 10 years. You said, hey, we don't have a lot of money to do anything big. And he said, don't worry about it. I got it. And he didn't even, not even a happy birthday. The way that she monologued, trying to make excuses for this man who, oh my God, not even a happy birthday. Oh my God. And then after that, they tried to like switch over into another realm of conversation, and they were talking about, they started talking about mothering and how stressful it is. And like, I was just, I'm like, man, I'm really happy I don't have kids or either of your husbands. I was just like, wow, my life is good. I have thoughts and prayers, ladies. And I can only imagine that mothering feels harder when you're with somebody that can't eat, like in that droplet of time that I had around them. I would imagine that the first mom, the one whose birthday it was, if your husband can't even tell you, the mother of his children, supposedly the love of his life, that happy birthday, I can't imagine that you are getting the full support that you would need to parent in a way that you don't feel like you're losing yourself in. And the way that they were talking about motherhood, their experience of motherhood, and the way that this one lady was talking about her relationship, I was like, I see how a lot of women and people who engage with men in this way can lose themselves, because their entire life, if it wasn't for this moment where they kind of tucked themselves away, mother to mother, and said, oh my God, thank God nobody else is here. But then even now that nobody else is here, there was nothing else really for them to talk about. I didn't hear, and I was sitting, we were next to each other for like, give or take, 45 minutes? 45 minutes. And my question was, okay, so what else is going on in your life? Like, what hobbies, any accomplishments? Like, they talked about work briefly, but then they used work to kind of get back to talking about their husbands. And I'm just like, what about you? What about you? What's going on in your life as an individual? What's going on in your lives just as women, not necessarily women attached to men, but just as people as an individual, what's going on? And that question came up in, because those ladies moved, and then another group of women came in, and that group, I guess, was like pre-bachelorette parties. There was a lot of talk about an upcoming wedding, right? And as soon as they sat down, and this was a group of maybe like 7 women, and I stayed there for a little bit until I was like, you know what, I need to hear other kinds of conversation. But they all sat down, and immediately after they sat down, yes, they lightly talked about the wedding, but then immediately all of these women, who I'm assuming aren't like, they don't know each other. It seems like a collection of different friend groups. Instead of talking about themselves, they all started talking about their husbands. They all started talking about their boyfriends, what their boyfriends do, what their husbands do. Like, oh my goodness, my husband does the exact same thing. Oh, well, and I'm like, as somebody who makes a livelihood off of observing, I didn't learn a single thing about these women, but I know so much about their husbands. And there's a video that I made previously. I can't remember where it is. If I find it, I'm gonna link it. But there's a video that I made where I created a challenge, basically, where for people that engage with men in this kind of way, I mostly like women, but not exclusively. When you're hanging out with your friends, I challenge you just to not talk about the men in your life. Like, that's part of decentering men. It's not just, oh, I don't cook and I don't let a man tell me. These men didn't have to say a single word, and these ladies let their men dominate their conversation, lead the kind of connectiveness they have. If you don't talk about issues with your boyfriends and issues with your husbands, or like you're dating or whatever, if you don't talk about that with your friends, are you just going to be silently sitting at a table at brunch? These are the kinds of, this is mostly what I'm kind of talking about here. We're getting to the underbelly of what this thing is. And it was just fascinating watching these 2 groups of women come in and then out. And every piece of their conversation that I heard was focused on a man that wasn't even there. A man that didn't even remember your birthday. I don't know. It was an interesting time at the spa. If you have any thoughts about this, please type them away in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'm gonna talk to you guys later. All right, bye.